mustardy light medium transitional brown, and I'm just going to take a little bit of this. Oh, hair in my eye. I didn't want to do that really, did I? It is so dark and gloomy today. Even with my lights on, I feel like it just looks so dark in here. My hoodie may be covered in dog hairs, but that's just the way it's going to be for the next 15 years, probably. Hi guys. So I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram or Twitter or TikTok or my second channel, Soph Does Vlogs. If you don't follow me there, and if you missed my previous video, you might not know that I have got a puppy. We have got a puppy, myself and James have got a puppy, and she's the cutest thing in the whole world, and I absolutely love and adore her, and she's currently downstairs with James. And I've just come upstairs to film a video, but if you want to see any puppy content, head over to my second channel because I'm going to be posting more stuff of her over there. But she's just the sweetest thing. She's called Pinky. She's 4 months old. She's a rescue dog from Romania, and we got her on Friday, and today as I'm filming this, it's Sunday, so it's only a few days in, but she's already just changed my whole life. I didn't want to take her upstairs to show you guys her today because she hasn't been upstairs yet. We're kind of keeping her just in the downstairs of the house at the moment, just so that she doesn't get too overwhelmed, because obviously her circumstances have massively changed. So currently she's not coming upstairs, and I didn't want to like startle her with all of the lights and everything. So I'm sure you will see her on this channel. I will put a picture in. A few people have asked me to do puppy chooses my makeup. I'm not too sure how that will work, but I can try it. Anyway, today's video review and first impressions / testing is gonna be testing Genevieve's brand, which is called VIEVE. My dumbass, when I first saw the name of the brand, I was like, oh, that's an interesting name. VIEVE, what a nice name. And then when I saw her video, I realized that it's called VIEVE. It's literally the second half of Genevieve, which I think is pretty genius. I've got the eyeshadow palette, I've got a highlighter, I've got 2 lipsticks and a lip liner, and I'm gonna be giving you guys my first impressions and honest thoughts in today's video. So I guess we'll just get into it. So the brand VIEVE, this is the sort of theme of the products. They're all very neutral, very nude, very Jamie, because she's just known for her classic sort of smoky eyes, nude lips, super beaming highlight, and that is what her first launches have been. It's not cheap, I will start off by saying that, and in the order I got this little letter that just says like a whole spiel about the brand, and it is supposed to be a luxury brand. I believe it says we aim to create beautiful formulas made to work, combining luxurious products and performance staples to feel like treasures in your makeup collection. So yeah, that's so cool. It says founder and chief creative officer Genevieve. I do also just want to say Jamie is one of the loveliest people I've met in this industry. She is just so sweet, like zero bad vibes from her. She's always so nice. She always, you know, makes an effort to talk to everyone and be friendly and ask everyone how they are. She's just a nice person. So the eyeshadow palette was £43, which is a bloody lot of money for an eyeshadow palette. You get 10 shades in here, and they are big pans. They're huge, actually. You could probably use those to contour if they were your kind of contour shades. So that one is £43. The highlighters are £27, which again, expensive for a highlighter. But like I said, it is supposed to be a more luxury brand. Just want to mention as well, they do say on the back vegan and cruelty-free, fragrance-free, paraben-free, gluten-free. Gluten-free? Isn't like gluten-free when you are eating it? I'm not going to eat this. Maybe people have reactions to gluten when they put it on the skin. Got it. So this was £27. It comes in 3 shades, and I got the lightest shade, which is called Bijou. I got 2 of the lipsticks. These were £19 each, which again, more pricey for a lipstick. Pinky did get her hands on one of these when I was taking them out of the package earlier. So one of the boxes is a little bit chewed, but I got these shades 90s and VIEVE. And then I got one of the lip liners. Oh, I think there were 5 shades of lipstick. And then the lip liners were £15, and I just got one, which is called Brat, which I believe is the lightest shade. I'm not 100% sure. I was kind of scared that stuff was going to be broken, because when it arrived it came in this thin mail out, which is like, you know, it fits through the letterbox, and there wasn't any bubble wrap or anything. It was just wrapped in tissue paper, but everything has survived and nothing's broken, so that's great. Oh, and the postage was £3.29. So in total on these 5 products I spent £126.95, which is not a cheap order. But let's start off by diving into the eyeshadow palette. I love the packaging. It's just black and gold. It's very simple and very plain, but I think it looks very classy and chic. So this is called the Essential palette. I kind of prefer the design of the box over the actual palette itself, but hey ho, it does have a little protective thing on the VIEVE. And something that I think is really smart, which I will just explain for you just now. So the palette itself is this faux leather sort of material, and then it's got the 10 shades. So these are all pretty neutral shades. It's a basic staple sort of neutral eyeshadow palette. Looks like something that I would actually get a lot of use out of. And the mirror actually folds all the way back so that you can dip into the eyeshadows and then hold your mirror kind of like this way round, which I saw her do in a video, so you can like see your whole face. I mean, for me personally, I think I'm just so used to holding my eyeshadow palette like this. That's what I would do, but I did see a video that she did, I think it was with Sunday Times Magazine YouTube channel or something. She held the palette this way round, and so she dipped into a shade and then she held the mirror like this so you can see your whole face, which I think is quite cool. Oh, you know what guys, I've just realised like I would never normally do my makeup in this order. I would normally go from my base, which I've done all of apart from highlighter, and then I would do my eyes. So I'm going to do the highlighter. I'm sorry, I just gave you a little taste of the eyeshadow palette though. So this is the Nova Glow highlighter, and I got the shade Bijou like I mentioned. Again, it's got one of these little bits that you can peel off. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I lost another fingernail, and it's my middle finger again. Every damn time. Oh shit! The highlighter actually just fell out. The glue underneath that it was stuck to is kind of like completely dry. It's not like it's like dried solid plastic, and it doesn't feel sticky, so I'm probably gonna have to put some kind of like sticky pad on this to stick it back in. That is not an ideal situation. Okay, I'm gonna just be careful with this for the remainder of this video, but it does come with a mirror, which I like. I do like the packaging. I mean, I like the packaging other than the fact that it just fell out of the pan, or the pan fell out of the product. Can you see? It's just got like a V imprinted into it. The camera's really washing it out. Right, let's do a swatch of this at first. Oh wow, okay, that's very, I was gonna say pigmented, which it is very pigmented. That does look really pretty. It feels like quite a thick sort of formula, as in it feels like more of a pressed highlighter than a baked highlighter. Do you know what I mean? Like when you drag your finger in it, there's a bit more texture to it rather than it feeling super slippery. Does that make any sense? And I'm just gonna take my regular Zoeva highlighter brush, dig into some of it. Wow, okay, I mean, that is beautiful. But something that I definitely am noticing is rather than just giving that wet sort of glow, there are some little glitters in it, which when I swirl my brush like this, they're sort of flying away and it's not leaving those glitters behind. But there are little tiny sort of micro glitters in it. So if you are to look at your face a little bit closer up, you can kind of see the tiny little bits of glitter. I'll try and show you a close up in a second. And then I'm just going to take the same highlighter on my brow bone. It is a stunning highlighter though, like it's really blinding, and it's a really gorgeous colour. It's a light gold champagne sort of colour, which is exactly the highlighter colours that I normally go for. Oh, my nose is already getting a bit oily. I am just going to put a little bit in my inner corners. I don't actually know if it will pick up on camera just because they are so tiny, but the little glitters, you can see them in my face, on my face in real life, but it does look beautiful, the overall effect of it. This is definitely a highlighter that I would wear and wear on a regular basis because it's the perfect kind of shade that I normally go for. And this will have worked for me when I am at my regular sort of pale skin tone as well, because it is very pale, so I guarantee you that this would not be too dark when I don't have fake tan on, just for people that kind of colour compare to my skin tone. It's pretty though, it's real pretty. Yeah, the more you blend it out, those little glitters kind of disappear, and the more that it just looks like a glow. And look, it does look really pretty when I turn my head. I like it, I do like it, just not ideal that it fell out the pan when I first opened it. Right. This eyeshadow palette, it just looks stunning. I kind of want to swatch these because the shimmers, there's only 3 shimmers and the rest are mattes. So we've got this one, and this one, which are shimmers. And oh my god, guys, there's a matte white sort of, well, almost white creamy colour. We've got an inner corner highlight, we've got a dark brown, we've got a black, we've got transition shades, we've got lid shades, kind of like my Perfect Neutrals palette. Jamie clearly knows what she's doing. Oh, I nearly just put it straight onto my eyelids and I don't have any primer on. So I'm just taking a bit of my ABH primer because I do quite like this one. This is one of the Spectrum Cruella de Vil brushes. By the way, just a heads up, this eye is still recovering and it's still a little bit dry and flaky. Right, so I'm gonna start off with the shade called Buff, which is this one. It's almost like a mustardy light medium transitional brown. Let's just dip into a tiny bit to see how pigmented it is. Ah, my primer's already creased. Well, it's definitely very pigmented. Let's blend this all through my crease. I'm literally just using what's left on my brush from that first initial dip. Lovely. So far so good. Other side. Okay, I definitely need a bit more on this side. I didn't take as much. Wow, my forehead is really textured today. Can you see that on camera? I don't even think you can. Okay, let's just take a tiny bit more of this. Yeah, when I'm dipping in, I'm literally just doing that. That's all you really need. They are really nicely pigmented. Just going to continue doing little circles through my crease, and I'm going to try and sort of wing this out just a little bit. Just a little bit. I can never get my eyeshadow to match, but so far that shade is really nice. I would honestly just wear this like this, put a little bit under my eyes and I would be done, and then put some mascara on, and that would be a really basic one colour makeup look. And this is my perfect medium brown transitional colour that you can just whack over your lid and you're good to go. See, I could just leave it like this. So Lava Rock is almost a cool grey brown, and wow, that feels really nice. Delicious is this brown here. Oh my god, these mattes are so creamy. On my hand it doesn't look as grey. In the pan it looks quite grey. Am I alright? Maybe it was just the top layer, because on camera it doesn't look grey. I'm really confused. Let's take a little bit of the shade Delicious, which is this brown, and I'm gonna put this on the outer and inner parts of my eye, and I think I'm gonna go for a little bit more of a grungy neutral look today, just so it's not exactly the same as like what I did with the Madison Beer palette, etc. So I'm just taking a little bit of that brown. I'm gonna put it on the outer corner, and I am also gonna put this through my crease and on the inner corner as well. That colour is also blended really nicely into that other colour. No problem so far with them layering on top of each other. Sometimes when I do that, it can go a bit patchy, but this is not doing that. I'm actually then going to take a bit of the shade, which is called Chow, which is the mustardy colour. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this. Oh, hair on my eye. I'm just going to take a little bit of this on the outer perimeters of that look to give it more of a warm hue. But I've just got the tiniest bit on my brush, just so I can kind of blend this out a bit. What is James laughing at downstairs? Well, I know what he's laughing at. He's playing Call of Duty with his friends, but I don't know what's going on there. Let's just go back in with a bit of that Delicious shade to try and even these out a bit. Oh, so far these are blending like a dream. And so far I have not one single drop of fallout on my face. Well, I mean, I have just been using the matte shades. I'm sure I'll get that with the shimmers, but we'll see. So I just added a tiny bit of that mustardy colour to just blend things out. And again, blended beautifully. These two shades, oh my god, the shimmers just look so pretty. They've got this glittery sort of, I don't know, just like tiny little glitters running through them, which make them look extra sparkly. But yeah, something I will say with those two shimmers, just from swatching them with my finger and then swatching them on my hand, they do seem a little bit more like they will have fallout. They've got those little glittery particles in it, which are a little bit more on the crumbly side. Not crumbly, but just a little bit sort of flaky, and you probably will get a bit of fallout, but do you see what I mean about those glitter particles? Oh my god, this mark from where my Fitbit is, and it's rubbed off my tan. I'm gonna try applying one of these shimmers with a brush. I know how that's probably gonna go, but I could be wrong. Let's give it a go. So, synthetic flat brush, and first I'm gonna take the shade Thea, which is the slightly darker one here. Okay, yep, no, I'm using my finger. I'm sorry, I don't care. I'm using my finger. As suspected, a little bit of fallout on my face, but don't worry, I will brush that away in a second. It's not coming across as shimmery on my eyes as it was on my hand. It almost feels like it needs a little bit, okay wait, the second layer. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. I was about to say, it feels like it needs a little bit of extra something in it to kind of hold the eyeshadow together, because it's quite crumbly and it doesn't quite stick to my eyelid how I want it to. I think it would stick really well if I had a primer directly underneath it, but just applying it on top of those matte shades, it doesn't really want to stick. It is a gorgeous colour though, now that I've added 2 layers. Wow, did I really forget to close my drawer this whole time? Oops. Let me just flick away. Uh-oh. Look away that bit of fallout. I'm the world's biggest idiot. This brush had highlighter on it that I just used to flick off my fallout. So I just painted highlighter on my face. I didn't want to do that really, did I? So if I get closer, hopefully you can see a little bit better, but I'm going to add the other shade as well. I think these would perform a whole lot better if you just used a tiny bit of setting spray. But let's take the shade Carrot and see if it's any different. But they do feel like very similar formulas, like a little bit more on the flaky side. I love how sparkly they are and the sort of effect that they give off. I just wish that they stuck to my eyelid a little bit better. Well, it's definitely very pretty. The shade Glimmer doesn't feel the same as the other two. This one doesn't feel flaky at all. This one feels more like the texture of the highlighter actually. And that's the lightest... Look at the state of me. This is the lightest shimmer in the palette, but that one feels much smoother and not as sort of crumbly, but it's also not as glittery as the others. So I think this will be the perfect inner corner. Oh yeah, look how bright that is. Inner corner highlight. And then I'm gonna add that to my brow bone because I painted over my brow bone highlight. So I'm going to take the shade which is called Goodnight, which is the black, I think it is black. Is it black or is it, oh, it's black. I was going to say, or is it like a dark grey, but no, that looks very black to me. And I'm going to take this on an angled brush and I'm just going to do my regular sort of smoky, well, I don't really go that smoky, do I? But just an eyeshadow liner. Maybe today I'll try and smudge it out a bit more. Ooh, oh wow, okay, yeah, that's definitely black. Wow, okay, yeah, that's definitely a very pigmented black eyeshadow because I only picked up the tiniest bit. Oh no, but I've got it on my face. Oh, for sake. No issues there whatsoever. That is a nice, blendable, non-patchy black eyeshadow, which is so good for doing this sort of thing. I'm just making this liner a bit thicker and I'm trying to like smudge it out with the excess that's on my brush just to make more of a smoky look so that it's a bit different to what I normally do. I've got to say though, I'm loving how easy this is just smudging and smoking out. I've kind of messed up my wings a little bit, they're not very sharp. But I think that would do for my upper eyelids. So on my lower lids, I'm going to take Buff again, which is the lighter brown. And then, of course, I'm going to take Delicious. And then I'm going to take what's left on my brush from my black liner. Just push that close to my lash line. Right, again, I do have a little bit of fallout, so I'm just going to try and brush that away. Okay, the black is not wanting to come off. I should have known. So this is the eyeshadow just without my lashes on. This is what it's looking like so far. I'm just going to put my mascara on and I'm going to put on some tiny little corner lashes. These are actually Carmi's eyeliner lashes, which are just like a half lash. You know what, guys? Just while my mascara dries, I'm going to start doing my lips, or I'm just going to do my lips and then I'll stick my lashes on at the end. I used the KVD Go Big or Go Home mascara, which I actually really love this mascara. It makes my lashes look really nice. I mean, I don't necessarily need lashes, but I just want to add like a little bit of extra something. So lip liner first. This is the shade Brat. The packaging is fairly bog standard. I mean, it's the same as any type of lip liner. It's not one that twists up. It's literally just a regular sharpening pencil. So let's see what this colour is like. Actually, you know what? I don't think this was the lightest shade. I think I went for one of the more pink toned shades. Just because this is my perfect lip liner. As in, this is the sort of colour that I wear every day. For me, this is the perfect my lips but better kind of colour. That pinky toned, not too pink, but oh, I don't know how to describe it. Not super pink, but also not brown. It's just like the colour of my lips, but just a tiny bit darker. That formula feels really lovely. It was super smooth, super creamy, went on really nicely, doesn't feel too slippery, doesn't feel too dry. Nice lip liner. I would definitely continue to use that. Kind of reminds me of Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. And then the lipsticks, I've got 9Ts, which is spelled like T's, but 90s. This is the one that Pinky was chewing. So maybe I should go for this. Maybe that's how you do dog picture makeup. Whichever one they start chewing, you go for that one. The packaging for these I think is stunning. It's that same sort of faux leather effect as the palette and the highlighter, but then it's got the gold all the way around it and it's magnetic. Oh, and it's got an embossed V on the top. The packaging for this definitely feels very luxe. It feels like a high-end lipstick, like the type of thing you get from like Estee Lauder or something like that. I don't know. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, it smells so sweet. Very sweet. It smells really good. Let's swatch it because I think I'm going to keep both of these. Oh my God. Okay, that's like the perfect sort of nude lipstick that I would tend to go for. Just a very sort of similar colour to this, but maybe a hint more brown. That shade is beautiful. And then the other shade is called VIEVE, which I think was the lightest shade. Yeah, this one looks quite a bit lighter. Oh my God, this combination. Oh, and also as well, forgot to mention, the actual lipstick is embossed with VIEVE, which I think is really cool. Oh my God, this fingernail is so sad. This shade, oh my God, they feel so creamy. Oh, but that's also like my perfect nude. This is like what I would put in the center of my lips. Oh my God, they're both so stunning. You know what? I'm gonna put both of them on. How beautiful are those shades? Oh my goodness. Okay, get them on my lips. Okay, so I'm gonna start with 90s. That is a nice feeling matte lipstick. It's not super matte, like don't think MAC Ruby Woo, like it's not that kind of matte. It's a creamy matte, but then it looks really matte, but it feels comfortable. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, and then let's go in with a bit of VIEVE just in the middle. Just right there, and then blend. These feel really gorgeous, like really, really nice. That is a lip look. This definitely feels like a very sort of 90s lip because it's got that brownness to it. I don't really think there were many pinky lipsticks. Judging from the website, this 90s one looked the most sort of pink toned. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me just blend those out so I don't get them all over my clothes. So, ladies and gents, this is the finished look with my lashes on. I've got to say, I just went and brushed my hair out in the mirror in the hallway, and looking at this in a different light, I think it looks really, really beautiful as an overall look. The eyeshadow, I think, is such a Jamie Genevieve classic, smoky, winged sort of look. I feel like Jamie would be proud of this makeup. So although in the eyeshadow palette I did have a couple of issues just with those two shimmers, the mattes were absolutely beautiful, blended beautifully, but those two shimmer shades did have a little bit of fallout and were a little bit more on the chunky side. I think it would work a whole lot better if you either put your sticky primer down just directly underneath where you want to put the shimmery eyeshadow, or if you use a wet brush with a bit of setting spray. I think it would work better to kind of stick that shade together. Now that it's all together on my eyelids, I really think it looks so beautiful and I feel really good about this makeup. I would be really happy to go to an event with this. Yeah, it looks beautiful, I think, the end result. So I would love to know what you guys think of the overall look. Is this something that you would consider buying? To be honest, I do think the prices are quite high. It is a luxury makeup brand, but I think she's kind of marketed it that way. Out of everything, I think that the best products in terms of like value for money and things that I would most likely repurchase are probably the lip products, but I'm kind of loving the overall look. What do you guys think? I also do just want to say, if Jamie is watching this, Jamie, congratulations on your brand. This is so you, and I feel like the final makeup look is such a Jamie Genevieve look, and congratulations for being a freaking CEO of a makeup brand. That is a big achievement, and I think for a first launch, she's done pretty damn well. Right, I'm gonna answer a question of the day. If you guys got any more questions for me, as always, leave them down below with hashtag question of the day. Today's question comes from Isabella Bertali, and she said, "Hi Soph, love your videos. Thank you. I'm curious as to how you realised you had anxiety, or at least needed to talk to someone. Recently I've been having trouble with controlling my stress levels. Probably doesn't help that I'm not great at talking about my feelings, and I think I should go see a professional, but not really sure." So for me, there were kind of two different stages of my life. The first time was when I was 7 or 8 years old, and I actually was kind of unaware of that, and I didn't even really know what it was and didn't really remember that time in my life. And it was my parents that noticed that I'd started getting anxious of certain situations, and I've spoken about this a lot on my vlog channel. It was after the London bombings, and I like refused to go out. I refused to go anywhere really, and I was constantly like clinging on to my parents, and yeah, I would hate going out anywhere. So that was the sort of time when I was really, really young, where my parents noticed and they kind of reached out to professionals, but then it kind of disappeared for quite a few years. And then when I got older, the thing that made me go back to the doctors and talk to them and try and get help the second time round was after I'd had a couple of panic attacks, and it was actually affecting my life, and I felt that there were things that I was avoiding because of my anxiety, and I'd stopped doing doing things because of it. That's the point where I went to the doctors and was like, okay, I don't think this is normal. Yeah, I guess, well, I mean, if you're even thinking about potentially going to a professional, it probably is just worth going to them, talking through what kind of things you're feeling and what symptoms you have and stuff like that, and I'm sure that they will be able to help you a little bit more, because obviously I'm not a professional, but hopefully me sharing that is a little bit helpful. I think if you are feeling like you're struggling in any way at all, I think it's always best to just reach out to a professional and see what they have to say, because I'm sure that they can, you know, tell you a bit more about what is maybe going on and maybe give you some more useful resources and stuff like that. So yeah, but I'm sorry to hear that you're struggling with that kind of thing, and I hope you're okay, and I hope that if you do go and see a professional, they can give you some good advice. But also as well, don't beat yourself up about it. Like, it is such a stressful time at the moment, and I think a lot of people who have never had anxiety before are getting anxious because of COVID and all that shit, you know? But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing okay. I think that is it for this video. I will leave all the products linked down below. Again, congratulations to Jamie on the launch of her brand. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!